Hi guys, and welcome back to another DrAce livestream. Today we're going to be playing Ride 4, getting ahead of myself, and we are going to be here in Cadwell Park for round 5 of the DrAce BSB Championship. Good to see some people in the chat. Good to see Sergio23 rocking the silver membership for the pit crew. Great to see. Sergio actually was the man to create that fantastic logo, so big thank you to Sergio in the chat. Longboy Dan, welcome. Welcome to Crashfest Park, and Rumbledore has just joined the Ace Academy, so thank you for joining to Rumbledore. Mad Max is here. Max Johnson, shout out to you, young man. Hope you're well. Hope you're ready to watch some good racing this evening. Shamir Lee, hello to you. Perky, Dalton, great to see you as well. Ruben, Ride 5, sounds like something. Sounds like you know something we don't. No, no, I do not. And Perky got his correct suit on. I believe we are missing someone. Max, I did invite you, my friend, but obviously something went wrong. And who else? I feel like we're missing someone. No, are we good? Someone's missing. Let me consult. Okay, so Jayanth, Longboy Dan, Sergio23, the Belgian Ace, Sacred Meerkat, I did see his name there, yep, he's in. Furhat is also here. Mad Max is present. Sparky Man 878, Dalton Johns back in the fray. And 67, of course, the legendary Jack Hammer, Rational 73, Perky 80, and Fernandez. It is. Oh, Jay Fernandez is here. I could have swore we had a full roster. No, I think Raceboy was just a step in when we had an opportunity available. Oh well, not to worry. So, as usual, we'll be starting off with a qualifying session. It will be done in the format of a race. However, it will be just via time trial in the sense of the best lap times will get a qualifying position, which we'll then choose and sort out upon the completion of that one. And it was Perky who we were missing. I didn't think we had any vacancies, but thankfully Perky has joined us. Rational says hello. Hello to you, Rational. Now, speaking to the Belgian Ace just 5 minutes ago, bit of a moderator's discussion. We've come to the conclusion that 6 laps is probably preferable here in Cadwell Park to get a good feel of the track. There's going to be a lot of mistakes. Of course, it's a very difficult circuit. Nobody denies that. So 6 laps for qualifying to give the guys a chance to get the best feeling of their 600cc motorcycles and a chance to get pole position in, personally, one of my favourite tracks of all time. I'm waiting for you guys to ready up and then we can make a start. Round 5 of the DrAce Championship is here and I cannot wait to start this one. I'm actually a little bit sad to not be competing in this one, to be quite honest with you. This is the one circuit I would have really loved to have been a part of. Looking at the connection, I'm seeing a few dips here and there from Max and Jayanth. It's not been a big problem, but it's something to mention if we see anything that's a little bit strange throughout the stream. But seems everyone's pretty happy with the setup and everyone is ready to start. Crashes are on, tyre consumption is off because it's qualifying session, and I guess that's it. Ladies and gentlemen, let's start round 5. I think there's about 5 riders who would have traded, but what, traded to do the commentary though? That's a different thing. But I wouldn't. I would never give up the commentary booth. So no, I'm here to stay in the booth, in the Ace station, not going anywhere. Ruben says, I would love to see Sergio23 commentating. We'll be lurking and studying everyone, so good luck everyone and have fun. Thank you to Ruben in the chat. Ruben, are you still cool for me to send you the details of the completed stand-in so then you can add up with the championship? I would be grateful if you're still available for that. Gotta say, interesting to see what the performance is going to be like here in Cadwell Park. I've seen some lap times from some belting and impressive riders. It's certainly going to be interesting to see what happens here tonight. Thank you, Ruben. I do appreciate that, mate. So once again, I do hope everyone trained on the motorcycle full circuit version. I hope no one tried any of the other versions, because it'd be wasted. I absolutely do, Shamir. Absolutely do. Being in the booth and commentating and talking over it is just where I thrive. Sergio says a clean lap and he'll be happy. I think for Meerkat, Fernandez and Jack Hammer, the three top championship contenders, they've been a bit quiet in the chat. Maybe it's full concentration for those three gentlemen. I spoke to Fernandez not 10-15 minutes ago. He doesn't think Cadwell Park is going to be his friend today. His the worst track in the game for him, he says. So this could be very interesting. Are we going to see a good podium opportunity for another of the riders? Ferhat is not wearing the correct suit, but not a problem. We all make mistakes. So then, once again, this will be a 6-lap race, thus meaning 6 or 5 laps, should I say, to compete for a chance of pole position. So we will get a chance to see what the riders can do here in Cadwell Park. So flipping over to the TV perspective, clicking through, looks like Perky is, taking his time, same as Rational. There's a crash already. Something's gone wrong there. A crash in the midst of the field already. So Shamir goes for Sergio 23 for a chance of victory here today, or even just a pole position, as Fernandez, Longboy Dan, Jack Hammer, all thriving for greatness and all thriving for that first spot. It's not necessarily a race here, ladies and gentlemen. We don't need to be pushing as hard as they are producing right now. But of course, going into probably one of the best and most iconic parts of this circuit, the gooseneck, we go on board with Longboy Dan as Jack Hammer gets, whoa, super close to the rear of Jack Hammer. The FHO Triumph almost got clattered into. Kind of did, but thankfully didn't send him into oblivion. So following Fernandez and Jack into this particular part, Jack said some brilliant screenshots of getting too close to the outside of the circuit there from just before the mountain. But back over now, let's have a look through the field. Oh, Mad Max had a scary moment as a scary man went through. Sacred Meerkat up into 4th, but of course all that matters is the qualifying positions. So we're getting a third person perspective of Sacred Meerkat's lunge there on Longboy Dan. Once again, just a qualifying session, but we will continue to see what else is happening. Here is Perky and Sergio 23. Sergio rocking the Miles Morales helmet. Very nice design from our Belgian ace, of course, in pursuit of Sonic on the top of Perky's helmet. So now into turn 1. Perky very tight to the apex. Sergio through there cleanly as well. Rational through turn 1. Difficult corner. Very difficult corner to get right. There's a small bump that can send you flying off into the distance. But we will jump on board with Jack Hammer 46.58. Of course, the man who is currently 2nd place in the World Championship. My apologies. Excuse me, 3rd place in the Championship for the 600cc's. Smooth as you like and precise is Jack Hammer 46.58. But there is the man in 2nd place in the Championship. A dead heat in points with the man ahead of him on the track. I think actually, if I think about it really and logically, I think Jack is technically ahead because he has won a race in the 600 class, unlike Fernandez, without giving Fernandez any discredit there, of course. So I think technically Jack would be sitting higher up. But look at this great camera angle here. Look at the shots we had through there. And Sacred Meerkat on board the MV Augusta is flying. Absolutely flying. Keen to see what lap time he gets. So let's have a look at Jack as he gets across the line. Across the line he gets a 123, 124, and unfortunately we didn't get to see Sacred Meerkat as very smartly Fernandez just pulled out the way and let the fast boy get on through. Moving down the order, we will have a look at Mad Max on board the Kawasaki ZX6R. Good to see Max back in the lineup as he gone down. Oh, nightmare for the Brazilian. Just a little bit too wide there. Touching the outside. The circuit and Perky's done the exact same thing. Can you believe it? Twice in the same corner. There's been 2 crashes already. Sergio 23, strong on the brakes. She'll go roughly around the first braking marker. Nice and precise from the Belgian ace there as he now goes into the right-hander once more for the Chris curve, and then still on the right-hand side of the tyre. The Alpine Stars boots working overtime, shifting upwards and downwards for those particular section of corner. Strong braking here is required for the Belgian ace. Nice and tight to Mansfield. He's caught me up there a few times in the past, so there's no slouch around into Mansfield. Nice tight apex, a little bit wide, but he's still on board the motorcycle. But we want to see some airtime. Sergio 23, produce the airtime. He's gone down. That's not quite the airtime we was expecting, but unfortunately, the Belgian ace has been caught out there. Quick look behind. Perky getting the airtime. Verhat, can he do the same? Gianth, still waiting for that large airtime. We're hopefully Rational, the German, currently at the back of the grid. Don't know if he had an off. I think he did, didn't he, into the similar corner. Here comes the air. Not quite. Still a good look at the circuit of Cadwell Park. So now into the park straight. We will ride on board with Jackhammer. Got to get the helmet cam perspective. I like this one because just one more click and I can get straight back to the TV camera's perspective without too much of a hitch. So nice and tight goes the man on the right hand side. Of course, the championship standings very, very promising for our triumph man. Goodness me, hearts in mouths moment as Jack kept us on our toes there, it seems, for this part of the championship. But now into the right hand side and back over to the left. Aggressive lunge to the left hand side goes the man into turn 10. Now into the left hand side. It's got a bit cloudy here actually in Cadwell Park. Something to pay attention to and something to keep an eye on for the rest of this session. Here on board now is Sacred Meerkat, of course the championship leader for the 600cc class. Dominant in the first couple of rounds and looks really promising on board the MV Augusta. 1000cc's have not quite gone his way, but you can't discount what this man can do. Ashley May, ladies and gentlemen, one hell of a talent and a pretty damn decent chap as well, if I do say so myself. So now into turn 1 goes Sacred Meerkat. He's going to bring it in a little bit wide and then keep it on. Just gently bring on the acceleration and then bring on the power as Jackhammer deployed a smoke screen there for our fellow compatriot. So let's have a look through the order. Fernandez 99. We'll keep an eye on Jay Fernandez. That victory is coming. Will it come in the 600s or will it come in the 1000s? Will it come here today? Who knows what's going to happen in a 17-lap race around Cadwell Park. 12 laps for the 600cc's and 17 for the main big boy lead for the championship in 1000cc's. Endo for Fernandez 99. You must know we're watching, giving us major television camera time there. There's now Long Boy Dan back into the Mansfield corner. Number 21. The man who I mistakenly said was from Manchester was actually from Maidenholm. So my apologies to Long Boy Dan. Use that as motivation if you will. Former Manchester, now to Maidenholm. So bringing on the power, nice lift over the rise there. Good job from Long Boy Dan into the mountain section. Mad Max is being pursued by our British rival. Perky is. So into the change of direction. Max getting a little bit out of shape. Perky right behind him, wobbling, wheeling. Mad Max steady. Oh, and unfortunately we lost Perky. Perky did go down. Looks like Furhat has had a disaster going through the mountain section. But let's get back to Mad Max. Looked like he was putting on a decent lap time, although the wheelie did hinder him a little bit. So here comes the ZX6R for the penultimate lap of this one. We'll get one more chance of a pole position or a front row start. 126.581 from Mad Max. Andy Yates in the chat. Good to see you, dude. Welcome to the stream. I hope you're ready for some action here in Cadwell Park. It's certainly getting interesting at this stage of this championship already. So here is Jackhammer. Quick change of direction, back over into turn 10. Just approaching 10 past 2 here. The weather seems to be okay. We had a little bit of a scare a moment, as it did go a little bit dark upon our camera screens a moment ago. Sacred Meerkat over the mountain, riding the wheelie. Love to see it, you really do. Can Fernandez do the same? Whoa! A little bit sideways, but Jay Fernandez has a lot of style and has a lot of speed. No improvement from a Long Boy Dan, but it would be remiss to not see him go over the rise, and there you go, right on cue. Mad Max, show us what you can produce. The Brazilian ace into the mountain. Let's see it. Big wheelie. Not quite, we were kind of duped there, but Sergio 23, not quite either. Perky on the other hand, yes. Style and charisma both go hand in hand for that young man. So now into the mountain section once more. Jayanth trying to go for that middle line. I think he got kicked wide there a little bit. But now it's Fairhat going into the hairpin for turn 17. He will not get across the line. So unfortunately, this lap time, which would probably give him an extra 3/10, is not going to happen. So there you go then, guys and gals. Quick screenshot so I can keep an eye on the timing. Very interesting way of displaying the laps there. I mean, for some reason Jack is -2 seconds, but he finished 4th. Of course, this is not actually a race, but very strange. Yeah. So there's a screenshot. I think I'll get a picture as well. It's just a little bit easier for me to use. Fairhat says disaster. I think a lot of you probably don't give yourself enough credit. This is a difficult track. We all know this. It was a good effort nonetheless. So Jack finishes the top. 122.612 for him. Very close is Sacred Meerkat. Fernandez not too far behind, but not within the same second. So something to bear in mind. One Boy Dan 24.3, Mad Max 26.5, Sergio 23, 125.1, 125.8, 126, etc., etc. down the board. So we'll now get back over to the whatever you call it, the lobby, and then we'll start preparing for the race. There was a discussion in the Discord server just today regarding about a possible wet race approaching. We'll see what happens in the future. Does DrAce decide to give us a wet weather race? Do the fans want to see a wet weather race? Let me know in the comment section down below. So, RM600, 12 laps in Cadwell Park. Physics simulation will be available for anyone and free transmission with tyre wear on as well. So, waiting for everyone. Yeah, variability is on, but that will only change it to cloudy to dry. It won't actually cause any wet weather, so that's fine. A wet weather qualifying session. I'm interested. I'm interested in chucking the wet on. I really am. I do like to see it get a bit damp on the circuit. And it also gives other people a chance to see if they can be as competitive or not as competitive with the wet weather conditions. So just waiting on Rational. New variability. Why not? Sacred Meerkat says, went cloudy on lap 4, threw me right off. Have to contend with it. I did a fantastic race on MXGP 2021 just a few days ago, which I've got uploading for some point this week. And I've got to say, the point of that video was it was just rain and dry and it went crazy. So I loved the idea of having a variability in the race. Now, I think we're pretty much confident and happy to go. So I think we should be good to continue this on. I'm really keen to see if we have any wet weather specialists. I really am. I like the idea it went dark. It gave me something else to commentate on. I liked it. It was cool. So Jack, top. And then it was Sacred Meerkat. Why can't I move Sacred Meerkat up? Do I have to move him down and then up? Okay. That's weird. I guess that works. No doubt that's probably something that you've experienced before when you've done the other streams for Sacred Meerkat. Right. Let's get... I do believe... Who is the Michael Rutter of the championship? You know, I really don't know because I don't think many of the guys here do wet weather races. And to be honest with you, I probably don't do many myself either. I do like riding in the wet. I like the oh, what's the word I'm looking for? The variation and the difference of trying something new. I like it. So 124.310 it was for Longboy Dan. We then go into the 125s. 125.1 for Sergio 23. That puts him in 5th position. Good to see a battle is about to brew between Longboy Dan and Sergio 23. 23 has 2 on 21. So is that 2 more points? I guess we'll find out. Right, 25. Perky, but a decent lap time. Also a 125 for him. So he's actually already in the right spot. From there, we will see the 126s. It looks like Sparky, pretty much a dead 126 there. Mad Max approaching behind. And then with Jayanth and Ferhat concluding the race, concluding the qualifying positions. And I guess, ladies and gentlemen, that's it. It's time to go racing. It's time for round 5 of the DrAce BSB Championship for the RM 600 class. And if you're yet to subscribe, now's a great time to do so, because you may not have a chance to do it when the action really kicks off. Rational says he's close to Sergio today. 2 of them in doing battle in the ARL Championship, which Raceboy has been setting up. Keen to see them 2 go at it. And here we go. Sergio 23 gives us the member, the icon, the pit crew. It's time to go racing, ladies and gentlemen. It's time for Cadwell Park. Oh, I'm so excited. I cannot wait for Cadwell Park, honestly. Oh, the voice is gone. Still got the cough. How bloody long has it been? Dawn says, go Jack. I've got no favouritisms, but go Jack. Go Meerkat. Go Fernandez. Go Sergio. Go Max. Go everyone. Just put in their best performances. I can't wait for this. I really can't predict what's going to happen. The 600cc's have been interesting. There's always been some sort of crash. There's been some moment for one of the guys in the top 3. Would that happen again here today? Hard front, hard rear combo for Jack, Meerkat and Fernandez. Dan, Sergio, hard and mediums. Rational again favouring the soft option rear. Are you mad? He's a brave boy. You got to give him that. And guys and gals, it's time for round 5. Here we go. Turn 1. Present carnage. Will it happen? Place your bets in the comment section. So on pole position for round 5, Jack Hammer, the number 67. Does he get a good start? We've seen Fernandez's ridiculous starts. Does he get the same? Look at Longboy Dan, already up into the lead. Is this the first time he's led? I think it might be. Brilliant stuff, but Jack will go back up in the inside and retake over at the front. Dan's down! Dan's had a nightmare! Oh, the dream start. Look at Sergio already up there into the top 3. Brilliant performance from the Belgian ace. He's been ruining the day. We picked Cadwell Park, but give him a chance and he will certainly shine. Sacred Meerkat backing it in with style. Sergio closing in on the great one. Sergio 23 really tight to the apex. Watch out for Fernandez. He's going to try and go for the lunge. Fernandez up at the inside. Brave move into the gooseneck, or just before the gooseneck occurs. Fernandez up. Brilliantly done. Meerkat putting the pressure onto Jackhammer. Difficult to see the camera angles in some of this perspectives here, so apologies if they're moving around quite a lot. Not seen as many crashes as we thought as Sacred Meerkat. Has he pounced? He stood on back legs like a meerkat, but now it's time to lunge. Into the mountain. Jack throws it up at the inside. Stunning move. Absolutely phenomenal from Jackhammer. That was absolutely fantastic. What a move. Put that in the clips. Put that in the archives. Brilliantly done from Jackhammer. Wow, you cannot take your eyes away from this performance. Fernandez has got this yellow flashing light and it's really throwing me off. Sergio's still there in 4th place on board the Yamaha R6. We'll get back to that action in a moment. But for now, sticking with Sacred Meerkat. Not like that he lost the lead there. It's not often that Sacred Meerkat gets pushed in Ride 4. But now, it's happening. And it's happening to one of the best competitors we have. And that is the man on the screen right now. Absolutely sensational move. I've got to agree with you there, Dawn. That was one of the greatest moves I've ever seen. Especially from... I mean, Jack's done a lot, but still. That was absolutely sensational. Take a bow, young man. Take a bow. So back over. We still have the Norfolk Nightmare, of course. Dubbed by the fantastic Andy Yates. And he's still in pursuit. You can see the difference to these two men. One of them's quicker here. One of them's quicker there. Who's going to be the quickest at the end of this one? Bring on the power as we go into the mountain again. Will Sacred Meerkat throw another lunge? Maybe he'll just hold it off now. Brilliantly done there from Sacred Meerkat. Nice and gentle across into the bumps. I don't really want to pull away from this one. Look at this fantastic camera angle. Love that shot here in Cadwell Park. God, I wish I was racing here. I love Cadwell Park. It's so damn good. Quickly get back through the order though. Sergio 23, stellar performance in 4th. Keep it up, Sergio. Change your mind about Cadwell. Some yellow flags behind. Perky, Rational having a contact. Long boy down up the inside. Caught just in time. That was a fantastic lunge from Long Boy Dan, the number 21. Back over to the front. It's still kicking off. And ladies and gentlemen, we've got 10 more laps of this. Pin me in for another 10. Fantastic. So into Park Corner then after the somewhat of a straight, the Park Straight that leads into the 4th corner. We'll now have a chance. Look at Meerkat though. He's fast. He is fast. Let's get in the helmet cam perspective. And let's see what the number 29 can do. Now into the left-hand side we'll go into Mansfield. As Jack, as we know, impervious under pressure. He doesn't break. So is he going to this time here in Cadwell Park? Could be a classic commentary curse, that one. If it is, then don't I apologise. So now into the left here for the mountain section. Back over to the right in anger. Get into the middle of the circuit so you don't hit the bump too much. And then attack into the left for the Hall Bends. Seen Ryan Vickers go down here this season in BSB. Good to see none of our riders are going down there in that particular occasion. So now back over to the right. Keep it in nice and tight and bring on the power. Jack is doing a fantastic job, but Meerkat is not letting him go. This has been the tightest race we've seen, and then we've been waiting for this for 5 rounds. The 2 Titans, the fierce competitors, are at it here today. So back over to the right once more for Charlie's, and then into the long straight. Really want to see the other people's performances as well, because I just don't think they're getting enough camera time. Fernandez, he may have downplayed his efforts by saying he doesn't particularly like Cadwell, but still quite comfortable in 3rd place. Here's Sergio 23, as mentioned earlier, rocking the Miles Morales helmet. If you want the helmet, of course, be sure to check out his liveries and such on the livery marketplace, whatever you call it, in Ride 4. So back over to the left now. We'll get the tight, twisty section of Cadwell Park, the part that makes this track so iconic and loved and adored by many. Back over into the mountain. Oh, the pressure. This is phenomenal. These two are not just having a cruise and having a play like you do in a public lobby. These guys are chucking in seriously fast lap times. I hope these guys practice, because if this is their skill without practice, then bloody hell, how can they be beaten? Absolutely sensational, and this one is far from done. 600 cc's, and we've still got the 1000 cc's to come. Oh, it's a good day to be a bike fan. It's a good day. Oh no, something happened to Sergio Fernandez. Oh no, prematurely. Never mind. Ignore me. I just seen yellow lights, as you can see from my own defence there. You can see they got the yellow lights stuck on for Fernandez and Mad Max. Not a bad consistency there from Jack Hammer, is it? Up in this first split by 1,000th of a second for the man on board the Triumph. Still, the pressure is on. Constant pressure from Sacred Meerkat. The number 29 is determined to put 67 under too much pressure, but will he break? I don't think he will. But Meerkat's got to go for a lunge sooner or later. The man from Norfolk, he'll be fancying it. He'll certainly fancy a lunge, but just where? I can't really see a weakness from this perspective. They are now 5 seconds adrift from Fernandez, ladies and gentlemen. This is insane. I know the others don't particularly care for this circuit, but there's certainly 2 riders who do, and we're looking at them right now. We're looking at a potential improvement of the lap time from Jack Hammer. Across the line we go. It's a 1:23.077. He's going to be lapping quicker than he did in Brands Hatch in a moment. Absolutely brilliant. We'll have a quick look behind just to make sure we've not missed anything. I do apologise to the riders behind, but Sparky Man's been sent off into the grab. We'll give a bit of a whack there to the polyester sign there. Not sure what got under his bonnet there, but just looking at the gap, it has come down once again. Is he going to go for a lunge? Still not close enough, but you see the MV Augusta is critically strong in that section of the track. Back on board with Meerkat we go. Is he going to go in for it into the gooseneck? Smart. Very smart that from Meerkat. He probably could have gone through, but I think there would have been contact, and I know Meerkat is not a dirty player. He's not a dirty rider, and he wouldn't purposely take someone out, so not an opportunity, but the opportunity has arisen! Meerkat's alongside! Does he go into the mountain to get it this time? Will Jack fight back? He has finally yielded the position. It is now time for Meerkat to do what he does best and break away from the competition. Wow, a surprising moment in this Cadwell Park Grand Prix. Can you take your eyes away from... Whoa! Goodness me. Hearts in mouths from everyone at home. The young man from Newcastle almost sent itself into the distance there, looking like Taz McKenzie. Ooh, thank goodness he's alright. We were almost robbed of a sensational battle there. Meerkat's trying to pull the pin here. We go back to the number 67. It's time for him to fight back. We've seen the lunge into the mountain. We know he can do it. Will he do it again? I guess we'll find out. Look at that gap, ladies and gentlemen. I want to reiterate that the other 9 riders that aren't in the top 3 right now are still fantastic players. Great competition. I don't want to downplay what they can do as well. It's just that these two, Meerkat and Jackhammer, are just damn good. They have a control with that controller, with which one they use, from Xbox to PlayStation. They're gifted. Very talented people with a lot of speed and dedication. And they fit right in the DrAce BSB Championship. It's a pleasure to have both of those gentlemen here with us today. So now into the hall bends. Back over to the left, back over to the right, back over to the left, back over to the right again. As Jackhammer is closing the gap a little bit. He has really closed it in now. How do you do it? You have a moment and you just put it straight to the back of your mind and go, hey, why not? Let's have another go. Into turn 1 there, the dreaded turn 1. It's the 122.845 from Jackhammer. Up on the inside, takes over at the front. As Sacred Meerkat, will he try to fight it back? He's got to. Don't go too wide in the corner there and see a crash like we've seen before. How can you take your eyes away from this one? Absolutely fantastic. Now up into the park straight. Park corner will yield as Sacred Meerkat moves surely as he goes firm on the brakes, gets hold of the position and tries to take this race over. Grab it by the scruff of the neck now, Meerkat, because it's time to fight. It's time to throw it all down on the line. The championship standing just before the showdown begins. This is what we're setting ourselves up for 3 more rounds. Absolutely sensational. Meerkat still backing it in for Mansfield and beyond. Wow. I need a moment. I think we all need a moment. Not these two, though. These two are on it. 51% of the rear tyre has been used for Sacred Meerkat. Back over to Jack. Pretty much identical. 50% for Jack. And I guess my maths are incorrect there. I should have said 49% of his use, but hey-ho. Who's really questioning that right now? So back into turn 1. We've seen that Jackhammer got a fantastic lunge from the final corner all the way down to the straight. So we now go back over to the right. This one is still... It's just still going. It's just... Nothing can separate these two men right now. We'll have to just sneak through. Rational's doing a fantastic job in 4th place on board the Suzuki. Sergio 23. I think he had an off somewhere, but still well within range of chasing his German rival. So behind him is Mad Max, who is doing probably one of the best races, if not the best race of the season. I really hope I don't jinx him, but Max, stay on board that bike and get 6th place. That would be a brilliant finish for him. He's under serious pressure from Long Boy Dan, which unfortunately is not ideal, because Long Boy Dan, as we know, is a damn fast competitor. A damn fast competitor. See what I did there? Yeah, I didn't laugh either, but still. A pun for the aces. Why not? Let it fly. And oh god, these two are back at it again. Into the hole bends. They're still at it. Jackhammer versus Meerkat. This is going to go on forever. Max says, Sacred Meerkat versus Jackhammer. Who is going to win? I think it'll be a photo finish to the line. I don't disagree with you, Max. I think you're right. I think you might be spot on, young man. These two are not letting up. Big championship points at stake here, ladies and gentlemen. Do not forget, Sacred Meerkat has 6 points advantage over the number 67. And I think Jack knows that. He certainly knows that, and he wants to call it an end to that championship reign of Sacred Meerkat. I don't want to alarm anyone, but I think Jackhammer just experienced the wheelie bug that has been in Ride 4 since forever. You're in a straight line, everything's pinned, and for some reason the front wheel just lifts up ever so slightly. I'll be asking Jack about that one upon the completion of this race. So Fernandez got another yellow static light. Not something working out for Fernandez in this one. Don't know why it's a static yellow light. He's certainly not doing anything wrong. So we now go into the change of direction. I do fear that only a few riders are going to be able to complete this race. 10th of a second down is Sacred Meerkat. Jackhammer right behind him. This one is not over yet. We'll have 2 more incredible laps to go in Cadwell Park. Ooh, Jack biting a little bit more than he could chew there. Trying to take too much of a line going into the hole bends. I think this has got the feel of an instant classic. The weather has changed, ladies and gentlemen. Your daily update of weather as Jackhammer flies over the inside for turn 1. Back over at the front. Meerkat gets a bit of a wheelie, but now it's his turn to strike. Jackhammer back in the front. It was almost like toying with Sacred Meerkat there. The Meerkat missed a gear or just didn't get quite the best straight. He's got to fight back. Ashley, may he do it? May he can. We will find out as he goes strong into the brakes into turn 4. Both of these men critically good at the brakes. So powerful with the front end of those motorcycles. Look how tight Meerkat was to the apex there. Back over into the gooseneck. If we see a lunge there, that's it. I'm just going to commentate for the rest of my life. I'd never be able to do a perfect lunge on one of these competitors in the gooseneck corner. It would be absolutely sensational. Back over to Meerkat then. Let's have a look from this perspective as we go into the mountain. To the left as we go, nice and tight to the apex. Back over to the right, defensive line from Jackhammer. Experienced MotoGP Sport rider there, using all of his noggin to defend against the Sacred One. Difficult position for Meerkat to be in there, getting too tight to the apex. And just touching the grass certainly puts him on the difficult part of the tyre there. As we now power it down the straight. Has Jackhammer pulled the pin? Was that a minor mistake from Meerkat that has just cost him a chance of victory? Here in Cadwell Park, you get the DrAce seal of approval if you win this one. Jackhammer still in the lead. Back on board we will be for now, but back over to Jack. It's a 0.6 of a second, and I'd probably say that's the biggest gap we've had. What a way to shine on the final lap here in Cadwell. Penultimate lap yielded some incredible moments, but it looks to be that Jackhammer's done it. I don't want to speak too soon, and I never want to count out Meerkat, but a 0.5 of a second advantage is a pretty big gap. It's coming down, though. Don't get excited yet. Or don't relax yet, because this might not have reached its conclusion just yet. The 67 under big pressure, but also at the same time, Meerkat is pushing hard. Pushing harder than Enea Bastianini right now at this stage. We'll go into the mountain section, but I think Jack's got it covered. Unless a major catastrophe for the number 67, I think it's all done. What a performance. What a race. Ladies and gentlemen, the best race of the season by far. Jackhammer, 46.58. You are victorious here in Cadwell Park. Not many can beat Meerkat, but Jackhammer, he can. Brilliant victory for Jackhammer, 46.58, and a stupendous second from Sacred Meerkat. Fernandez will come across the line in 3rd place. Brilliant performance from the man who says he does not care for this track at all. Podium finish here in the DrAce BSB Championship. Shout out to you, Jay. Brilliant performance for Rational. Gets 4th place, but does he hold on to it? Sergio's into serious pursuit mode. He'll just run out of time, but you know Sergio's gunning for him. He wants that 4th place on board the R6. Gets caught on the grass a little bit, but that will conclude round 5 of the DrAce BSB Championship. And it seems we'll only get 3 riders across the line in time. Wow. It's just wow. What a race. What a performance. Jack, Meerkat, take a bow. Ladies and gentlemen, what to say? What to say? Sergio 23 in the last bit there as well, pushing to get Rational. He was close. He was very close. Absolutely fantastic. I must send the screenshot over to the fantastic Ruben so we can calculate the results. Whew. Yeah, Jack, yeah, you absolutely deserve a breather. You absolutely do. And I think someone else deserves a breather, and that would be me. I think I also deserve a small moment to catch my breath. Wow, ladies and gentlemen. Whew. Anything else to say on that one? Absolutely sensational. Just check I sent you the right one there, Ruben. I do believe I have. Oh, wow. Whew. How do we feel about that one, guys? I know, that's the craziest thing, Meerkat. Absolutely craziest thing. Out of all the circuits to battle on, this is the one you choose. The one that doesn't really yield that many overtaking spots, but boy, you both found it. Yeah, honestly, Shamir, honestly, I don't I don't know what to say. It was just sensational. I need a thesaurus. Andy Yates. I need the chat. He's the man with the English. He can help us out. But wow, brilliant, absolutely sensational. I really enjoyed that one. And I guess a big thank you to you guys there. Thanks, Jack. Thanks, Meerkat. Brilliant performance from Fernandez. Claimed he didn't like this track, but he still gets on the podium. Not too bad, AJ. Not too bad. So finally we look at the lap times. I know last time it did something weird where it calculated the lap times again, but it actually calculated them incorrectly. Shout out to Mad Max finishing in 7th. That might be the best position of the season for Max. Apologies if I'm wrong on that one, mate, but good job. So we will confirm the times. A 1:22.845 and a 1:22.878. It just shows you how close those two gentlemen are. So, can we get the same thing again in the 1000 cc's, Jack, Meerkat? If you don't mind, I would be very grateful. My voice won't be, but I will be. I think everyone will be. What a performance. So, we now need to change things over. So, lobby options back over to the RM1000. And this time, oh, it'll be 6 laps for the qualifying session. I'll let everyone change their stuff and we'll invite them back. So we will have the qualifying session. Again, 6 laps, tyre consumption off. Everything else will still remain the same. And then we can start the 1000 cc race. Oh, if the 600 was anything to go by, it could be amazing again. Actually, no, it could be, but it will be amazing. I'm pretty certain. I'm confident in our guys. So you weren't quite bang on there, Max, but it was pretty close. 4 tenths, 5 tenths of a second by the end of that one. So it was a bloody good estimate. So I'll try and invite everyone back. So who do we need? Jackhammer needs another invitation. Oh wait, Jack's still here. Or, I don't know. I think so. Oh, I think he's probably gone to get a Pepsi. Poor lad needs a drink. After a performance like that, you are excused. Perky, are you here? Nope. Rational. Second Meerkat, he uses the same Sparky Man. Fernandez is there as well. So let's have a little bit of a lean back in the chair. Have a sip of your beverages. What Rubicon did you have this week, Sacred Meerkat? I do believe I've already invited you, Perky. And I'll send Jack a fresh invite so he can join after he's changed his suit. Perky. Perky, Perky. Good lad. I think so, Max. I really do. I think it's going to go down to the wire once again. If it doesn't, I'll be disappointed. Pomegranate again for Meerkat. It clearly does. I didn't have a pomegranate Rubicon, but certainly something I should invest in for the future. We'll see what happens. I can just see you on the advertisements for Rubicon Ash. Introducing the brand new pomegranate flavour. If you want to be fast and rightful, then drink it like Meerkat. Rational says GG. Good solid performance there from your mate. Finishing in 4th place in Cadwell is certainly no easy feat. A good job to our German friend. So, 17 laps we'll have in Cadwell Park. I think that's a very fair amount. And if there's anything to go by with the 12 laps we've just had, it should be pretty solid. Keen to see what tyre options we get to see. I do believe the hard option front and rear has been the combination that a lot have been choosing. Although, unless you're Rational, where you go for a soft rear. He made it work in Cadwell, so we'll see what happens in the next part. I didn't see that many crashes, I guess, because I was probably watching the front runners a lot. So I do apologise that not everyone else got too much camera time there, but for good reason, you understand. That's where the action was. So I'm pretty certain none of you will disagree with that one when you watch it back. And if anyone has the commentary on in the background whilst they're racing, then hats off to you, because I imagine that to be rather off-putting and rather jarring. I don't think I could listen to someone else commentate. I guess that's just the curse of being a commentator, I guess. So just waiting on Furhat. He seems to be ready up now, so we are prepared to go racing in Cadwell Park for a 6th lap qualifying. I think it was Rational. I mean, you made it work, so I see no harm in what you've done. So everyone's choosing their bikes. I actually almost pressed the X button there, which would have sent us to the next screen. So it wouldn't have been a great idea for me. So Sergio's on the Aprilia. Don't think he's particularly loving life with the Aprilia. Not as much as he's with the Honda CBR 1000. I think that's that would have been his bike to choose, possibly again if he had the choice, or maybe even the Ducati. Who knows? So long boy Dan, he has readied up. Kathy says, "What an epic battle!" It really was. It was an absolutely thrilling race. I think that's the most excited I've been in this championship, apart from the first one where I was just really excited to do it anyway, although I was very ill. 1001 at Cadwell. It's happening, Andy. It's happening. Oh, Sergio's found a setup. Good man. Expect to see you in the top 3 then, mate. Yes. Has your opinion changed on Cadwell Park yet, Sergio, or is it still a no-go? I didn't think you did too bad there. You look pretty comfortable, especially on the 600s. No, it still hates every part of it. Oh, sorry, you guys. Still got a tickle in my throat. So Sacred Meerkat, he's readied up. Again, the hard option front and medium. Really, hard option front and rear. Still very much favouring the double hard combination. Of course, the winner of the 600cc race just a moment ago is Jack Hammer, still with a hard option front and rear. Not seeing any soft options. And it looks like everyone has decided and picked their poison for the qualifying here in Cadwell Park. So round 5 is upon us. We've seen a cracker in the 600s, and now we get to see the 1000s. Oh, a gold badge there from Sergio. I like it. So, back over into the TV camera. Sergio 23 got a lightning start on the R6. Keen to see if he can do the same on the RM 1000. Oh, Fernandez has hit that weird glitch. Someone's been sent into the distance. Oh my god, who was that? It was Jack. He got absolutely punted there. No fault of anyone's there. That was just unfortunately a mistake. But wow, that was absolutely awful to see. Thank goodness he's not on a real bike. So Sergio 23 leading the way on board the Aprilia. Ooh, rear wheel touching front wheel there from Meerkat into Sergio 23. I think Meerkat wants to go for a lunge here into the gooseneck. Not often you see it, but he's gone for it. Sergio want to latch on to take Meerkat here. Latch on to the back of him. And follow some pointers from one of the fastest man in Ride 4. Nice change of direction there. Now up into the mountain section. Back over to the left. And back over to the right. Nicely done from Sergio 23. Middle of the circuit on the left as well. That's what you need. Sergio Meerkat, he's getting away. Already. In this one, he's flying. One boy down on the Honda, Mad Max. Then Rational behind on board the Bill-based Suzuki. So quick look behind. Oh, Perky and Jackhammer going for it. Jackhammer with the lunge up on the inside. Beautifully done from the number 67. Apologies, I must let the cat out. I will return in due course. I'm still here, just letting the cat out of the room. Apologies for that, ladies and gentlemen, but a cat waits for no one, and certainly doesn't wait for a commentary. So Perky and Rational both meeting their demise in the first corner. Sparky Man goes into turn 1. Tackled that very well, actually, did Dalton. Not really practiced too much from what I understand, but hopefully to see the man on board the R1 give it everything he can here in Cadwell Park. Furhat down in 9th. The man on board the MCE Ducati is just going down the park straight and will be getting ready to hit the anchors hard for the 4th corner here in Cadwell. Nice exit as well. Not the best of exit, but not too bad nonetheless. Hello Race Boy, welcome to the stream. Yeah, no worries pal, there was no space for you this week anyway, so apologies to you. Jackhammer just had it. Whoa! I think Jackhammer must have gone down and Sergio's hit his strewn motorcycle. Not having the best of luck at the moment is Jackhammer in this session. Had pretty much 2 laps derailed already in the early stages of this qualifying session. Mad Max up into 3rd place. I'm pretty certain he would want that to be a race result rather than a qualifying. But on board the Ducati Panigale, look at him sliding the rear. Always gives us a good chance for a shot or a clip, does Mad Max. So there's Longboy Dan, he's cutting the grass there. Let's not look at that part, we'll only embarrass him. And the number 21 still on board the bike. Until there's a chance as Jack's gone down again. Not going too well for the number 67. The Ducati, of course, a different beast entirely. As Perky goes down now into... Is that Coppice? Is it turn 1 or turn 2? Didn't quite see. Sparky Man will continue to push. Not quite clean, as Fernandez has also had a mistake there. A lot of crashes in this 1000cc. Possibly could have done with a few more qualifying laps, just so the guys can get really ready for it. But for now, more crashes. Max down again. I must have jinxed everyone, because I said there was not many crashes in the 600cc race, but seems to be a lot of moments happening in this one so far. Sergio Meerkat, the only man to really put the hammer down and just crack on with it. Bit between the teeth, just going for it. So Dan in 2nd place in the race, but I think he's just come off for a crash there. Mad Max as well into the Hall bends, being trailed by Rational. Behind him is Sergio 23 on board the Aprilia. So Max into the hairpin. Dan's a little bit wide. Rational follows, and then Sergio 23 behind him. Now Jack is not able to get a bit of clear track. Maybe now is the chance for him to have a good opportunity of getting a good line, a good chance of clear track and some clear air. So let's follow Jackhammer. Dan has gone down for the 3rd time. Let's back over to Jack then. Whoop, my apologies. Tackling the bumps into turn 1. Back over to turn 2. A little bit wider, and then to tight it in and tuck it in nice and tight for the apex of to Charlie's. Now from the park straight, using all of the track there onto the white line, goes Jackhammer. 46.58, up by a 1/10 of a second he is. as he goes firm on the brakes and brings it in nice and tight for the Park corner. So into the right-hand side, the difficult Chris curve. Not an easy corner to get that one. You either go too tight or too wide. It's very easy to get it wrong, but back over to the gooseneck. Jack quite strong. Promising start for this lap, as we'll be entering the Sector 2 time any moment. We'll get a good indication where he's going to be, or at least how his lap time is looking. He has met more traffic. If Dan has gone down on this lap, then I would prefer to him to move out of the way, because Jack, he's on a fast one. He's almost... Whoa! Big wheelie over the rise there. But he's got to lunge up into the whole bends. He's got to take advantage. As Long Boy Dan will only watch in dismay, as this man's ability is just so damn good. So back over now to the penultimate corner, or final corner it is, for Jack Hammer. Across the line he will go. He will get a 1:22.043. Possibly another lap time. Brilliant awareness there from Rational. I really approve of that one. So thank you for doing that, Rational. Moving out of the way when you've gone down is part of race etiquette, so I do appreciate that. Well, I am sorry to hear that, Race Boy. I really am. I don't know. I think I've seen the picture, actually, so apologies for you breaking your arm. I do hope you recover well and recover soon. Dawn says, come on, Jack. Always rooting for the young man. God bless him. He's doing well, actually, in this session. But if I was you guys, I'd be a little bit concerned about this man on screen. Very rapid with the 1000cc. Seems to be taking his time a little bit. Is he wanting to prepare for the final corner? Oh, it looks like the front tyre got rather warm. Something to pay attention to in the race then, perhaps. Sergio 23 doing a good job of keeping the front tyre a little bit cool. Jack Hammer a little bit wide there as he goes into the Hall bends. He is in pursuit of the Belgian ace, the man who made the liveries, of course. So we go back through, looking at everyone else's tyres at this stage of the Grand Prix, or at least this stage of the qualifying, should I say. Not really anyone with a excessively high. Jayanth is quite firm on the brakes, it seems, because a lot of orange on the front tyre. Sparky Man, who must have had an off. Seiken Meerkat on the final lap of today's qualifying for the RM1000. Sector 2 time will be approaching as we go into the change of direction just after Mansfield. So here we are. Here's Mansfield for turn 8. And then back over to the right-hand side for Seiken Meerkat. He will get a click through. Oh, he slowed down. He didn't want it. Lost 9/10 of a second there. Jack Hammer will be approaching. Not yet. Missed the sector time for him so far. Dan. Oh, Meerkat's had a crash. Think maybe wheeling too much in glee of a potential pole position. Everyone else seems to be going for it here. Perky's having a big wheelie, so never mind about that. Jack Hammer will approach the second split across the line. Missing a 10th. But in the grand scheme of things, a 10th is not that much if he can tackle the Hall bends exactly as he intends. Long Boy Dan is in 3rd place. Is he putting in a good lap here following Jack Hammer? Sacred Meerkat doing the right thing there. Appreciate that, Ash. Just letting everyone finish the lap as well. That's a good thing to do. So shout out to Sacred Meerkat. Jack Hammer will cross the line then. He'll be finishing the metaphorical race with a 1:21.475. Oh! Dan's on a... What the hell happened there? I have no idea. The Panigale V4R's strength here is these long straights. 1:29.055 for him. Not an improvement for Mad Max. Maybe an improvement for Rational. As Sergio gets a big wheelie across the line. And Fernandez, he is approaching the final corner. And not a lap time for him. Jayanth goes wide into the barn corner, but down the straight and across the line. Is this an improvement? Fernandez wheelies himself into oblivion. It might be an improvement for Jayanth. A Sparky Man, unfortunately, will not complete the lap time, but gives us a big wheelie for the fans. So then, to start the final race here in round 5 of Cadwell Park, Seiken Meerkat qualifies in top spot. Just 31,000th of a second behind is Jack Hammer, 46.58. Fernandez into the 122s, a 122.212 for him, and a 123.014 for Long Boy Dan, but Rational into the 123s, and so is Sergio 23. A 123.111. Very close amongst those three men. Certainly keep an eye on that battle as this one progresses. So screenshot has been made. Who's the best ace rider? Whoa, I really don't know. I'll tell you what, Max. We'll leave it to the vote. Let me know in the chat who is the best and the fastest ace in our championship. Sergio says he doesn't like Jack behind him. Probably many others don't either. He is a force to be reckoned with. I've not had the pleasure to race against Jack yet, I don't think. But then again, I don't think I'd be racing with him because he's probably going to be in Meerkat land. Going side by side into the chicane, probably the best idea. Oh, if we see another great move like we did earlier into the mountain, then sign me up. Almost changed the track then for some strange reason. So 17 laps here in Cadwell. Tyre wear is now on. 17 laps, physics simulation, yep. I take my time with these menus now rather than just clicking through them like a madman. I've improved. And shout out to Sacred Meerkat. He did say he was quite pleased about my recent camera work. I'm getting the hang of it, so I appreciate that, Meerkat. Do you like anyone beside you, Sergio? I mean, to be fair, when I've raced in the past, you've been quite good, quite clean. What's the trick for turn 1? I think tighter to the apex is better, if I remember right. I'd have to play it again. But I also don't carry too much speed. If you carry too much speed into turn 1, it just tends to throw you off. Or at least it did for me. Try to survive, says Long Way Dan. Yeah, okay then. What's the trick for turn 1? Prayers. Wishing for survival. So now Jack has readied up, just waiting for Fur Hat. And then we will get a moment to set up the qualifying. So I'm going to make a start on the qualifying. But I would like to present to you another onboard footage of Cadwell Park presented by Sacred Meerkat. So enjoy this, and hopefully by then I can have everything set up for the qualifying, or at least for the race from the qualifying results. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Cadwell Park, round 5 of the DrAce BSB Championship, and a lap on board with Sacred Meerkat on the GSXR 1000RR. So into the first corner, very difficult corner to get this one right. You've got to be very brave in there, but there is a small dip that can cause you to crash, so be very, very careful for the first corner. But now into the long park straight. I say it's a straight, but it does weave a little bit to the right and then to the left, so we now need to get firm on the brakes, roughly where the first braking marker is, as we go in nice and tight to the apex of Park Corner. Bringing on the straight, we want to aim for the apex again for the right-hander for the crisp curve. Continue to bring the power on, but gradually and gently as we go into the right-hander here. This blind corner for the gooseneck as we change over to the left-hand side. We can then avoid the rumble strip on the right there and start braking in to the Mansfield corner. So now to the mountain is approaching. Of course, we're going to go into the right-hand side first before the mountain, though, in a little change of direction for the motorcycle GP circuit. And now it is time for the mountain section. Brake early, nice in the middle of the circuit, right over to the right, and get ready to get airborne as you go into the middle of the corner, and over the mountain we go. Now into the right, quick change of direction to the left for the hall bends, back over to the right, back over to the left, easy as you go on the brakes, as you go tight as you can to the apex. Bring on the power for the hairpin, and then into the barn for the final corner, and launch it down to the back straight, all the way up to Coppice, into turn 1. And that is a lap with Sacred Meerkat here in Cadwell Park. Hope you guys enjoyed that one. We are now returning back to the action. I just seen a comment there from Charles. Apologies, no, we can't do a night race for BSB. We're trying to keep things relatively close to British Superbike itself, so unfortunately they don't have night races, and as Sergio has just mentioned, none of the bikes have lights. These are the RM1000 class. So unfortunately, no night races this time around, but it's something we can certainly look forward to in the future. And I have a lot of ideas yet, so keep tabs on this channel, ladies and gentlemen. If you're not yet subscribed, now's a great time to do so, because we're going to see a lot more action within these championships. I do believe everything is set up now. I hope you enjoyed the onboard footage. It is now time to start round 5 of the DrAce BSB Championship right here in the fantastic circuit of Cadwell Park. Joe4620 says Jack is the GOAT. Can he prove it? He did well in 600s. He may prove it again. Ladies and gentlemen, let's crack on. So we now... yeah, we've seen Furhat starts in Alton Park. On ride 4, if it was in Qatar, it would have been dark and have floodlights. Yeah, that would have been cool, actually. I think we're going to miss Qatar this season. I quite like that circuit. I think it comes back later on the year, but I like starting the MotoGP season with Qatar. I think it's a good venue. There's usually pretty good racing there as well. So back in Lincolnshire for our virtual race. Hall bends. Some great camera angles with the replay mode here in, or at least the TV camera's perspectives here in Ride 4. They did a good job capturing Cadwell Park. Some of the circuits, unfortunately, don't get very good sort of sense of replay camera angles and also TV cameras. So it's nice to see Cadwell Park has got the treatment. And so far, the British circuits have been pretty good when it comes to camera angles. So big thanks to Milestone for that one. Rational continuing his trend of being the man with the softest tyre on the grid. The man who's in 6th place, the number 73, a medium rear when the rest have gone for hards. Right then, I actually agree with you on that one, Jack. Love to see the Sydney Motorsport Park where Josh Brooks has been doing his races. I think he won a couple of races from what I've seen. But ladies and gentlemen, it is now time for the final race of tonight, the 1000cc's. It's all to play for today before we start the showdown. It's time for Cadwell Park. Whizball says good luck, guys. Furhat says good start for him. We're going to have to watch him and see what he can produce from 7th place on the grid. Put my teeth back in. So then, here we go. Meerkat on pole. Can he get the business done? Can he do it? Here in Cadwell, we're going to find out. Great start from Fernandez 99. Patented start for the number 99. He flies up into the first position. Furhat out of nowhere. The start of a life. Oh, he's messed it up though. Oh, it would have been good. It looked to be promising, but unfortunately the start wasn't ideal after that. Did look good, but unfortunately couldn't quite pin it into the second corner. Fernandez into the lead. Brilliant start from Fernandez. Jack goes firm on the brakes into the park corner. Meerkat's right behind him. It's almost contact. Whoa, Meerkat. Whoa, over the inside goes Meerkat. As Fernandez got absolutely eaten alive from Jack Hammer there. Aggressive move from the number 67, but he had to get the job done to stop Sacred Meerkat from coming on through. Whoa, Dan gets forced onto the grass there. Scary moment for Dan there, but he still hung on very nicely. Fernandez still fighting with the big boys. He's into 3rd place. Lost a bit of ground after that contact with Jackhammer. As Sacred Meerkat, does he fancy the lunge now? Give me the camera angle so I can see. Camera angle went to hell there. I couldn't even see what was going on. But someone went down. Someone went down. I think it was Fernandez. I think Fernandez went down. The camera went all crazy there. Unfortunately, I missed what was happening. But I think Sacred Meerkat and Fernandez made massive contact into the mountain section and has therefore really scuppered Fernandez's chances. He's down in 7th. Fernandez is in now, trying to fight back. Sergio's got a yellow flag, but it's okay. There's nothing happening to the Belgian ace right now. Furhat into turn 3. Oh, braving it through the first corner. And now into the right-hander we go for the long park straight. Jackhammer got an 1/8 of a 1/10 of a second up against the poleman in 2nd place. The gap is already brewing between Meerkat and Furhat, with Sergio 23 in pursuit. Furhat just 4/10 ahead. Back over to Perky. It looks like he's had a decent start. I don't think he was involved with any of that contact. I know Dan and Fernandez certainly gave it as much as they could into the Mansfield corner. Certainly battling around into the first couple of laps. As this one has been pretty scary stuff for the 1000cc bikes. Rational not having much of an improvement with a medium rear, of course. Oh, what's going on there? What happened then? Absolute contact, carnage going into Mansfield. I think Longboy Dan might have crashed and then respawned in the worst possible space. Not his fault, of course. And then just caused a massive collision there. And now Sergio 23 is... What a move! The Belgian ace goes round the inside. Furhat, block pass. Not quite. Sergio 23 fights back stupendously. Sergio 23 in the podium position. But we will see the speed of the Ducati Panigale V4R blocking him there to not let him get through. As Furhat will go round the outside as we go into turn 1 quite aggressively. Furhat back on the grass. He's going to shove Sergio wide, but Sergio goes on the grass. No! What handling! Brilliantly done to stay on board the motorcycle there. As Furhat doing everything in his power to stay on board the bike and stay within the podium positions. So back at the front. Not as intense as it was earlier, but I think it's about to be. 4 tenths, 5 tenths, the gap is still very close. Behind them is Sergio 23, and there is Fernandez 99. I would like to hear from Fernandez after this one, see what happened with him and Meerkat into the mountain section. Didn't quite see it. Probably could watch the replay a few times to try and find out, but Fernandez back on it in the early stage of this Grand Prix. Plenty of time to get back into it, but unfortunately sinking his teeth into the front runners is not going to be a thing anymore. 1.4 second it is for Jack. Does he do the double here today? Certainly looking promising for the young man. So back over to third place. Furhat a little bit deep into the hall bend. Sergio 23 very precise. Goes the man on board the Aprilia. He'll be diving into the right-hand side now. He'll be hoping he had webs like the Miles Morales Spider-Man above him so he could pull Furhat a little bit closer. Fernandez charges down the back straight with the Ducati Panigale 1299. Back into the left-hand side. Both men, all 3 men still on board their bikes. A yellow flag, never mind for Furhat. He's gone down. Another excellent chance for a championship position there. Losing the championship points recently to Sergio 23, who puts him ever so closer. That's going to be a disaster for Furhat. Sergio 23 will probably take over 4th place now. Critical moment for this championship for the 4th spot position. Fernandez in pursuit of 4th now. Sergio 23 wanting those additional points for 3rd. Fernandez, he's had a great podium streak. He doesn't want it to end here. So into the deep part of Mansfield. Does he go for a lunge here? Not quite close enough. Getting closer and closer all the time. Sergio having a pretty strong race here on board the Aprilia, and a track he really does not care for. In fact, both of these men don't particularly care for this track, which breaks my heart. So back over to the mountain section for the 4th time of asking. Both men tackling that very well there. Sergio 23 on the defence and holding off Fernandez at this point. Excellently done for the number 23. Keep on it. Belgian ace doing a stellar job right now. A couple of yellow flags out back there. I think Mad Max might have had a moment. Sergio 23 under the most pressure he's been under this championship so far. Probably since his 4th place penalty. Or at least where he had to get a 4th place to avoid getting a penalisation. So now, back over to the right. Brilliantly done there for Fernandez. I actually didn't see that coming. I was expecting Fernandez to line him up, but not actually go through there. That was damn impressive. Shout out to Aid. Hello, dude. Welcome to the stream. Hope you're enjoying the content so far. If you've just joined now, you missed an absolutely sensational 600cc race. I highly recommend you check it out when you get the chance. But yeah, it is a shame that you're missing out on this one. I think the Xbox group, the PlayStation group are all missing out, unfortunately. But the PC is the way to go. And the way to go right now is with Jackhammer as well. Leading by half a second as the camera just disappears there. We do miss a little bit of the action, but Jackhammer leading the way. Second Meerkat in 2nd position. I don't think he'd want to finish 2nd again. The number 29 is probably fed up of finishing 2nd. He wants to be the bride, not the bridesmaid. So down the long straight, on board with Second Meerkat. Now you can close all the gubbins and the graphics, but then we can't see anything. So unfortunately, I'm putting that back on so I can see what is happening. So now over to the right-hand side. Into Charlie's for the 6th time of asking. The Suzuki fires on the power. And hopefully get closer to Jack on the approach to the park corner for turn 4. Firm on the brakes at the first polyester sign to your left-hand side there as Jack goes a little bit deep, but I think that's a little bit more misleading rather than actually going deep. I think he made the corner quite nicely there. As Andy 8 says in the chat, nightmare from Norfolk incoming. Pressure is on once again. Are we going to see another sensational scrap between these two young men. I can't wait. He is closing all the time, getting faster and faster. And when you're following a reference like Jack, you're bound to go quicker, aren't you? 64 thousandths of a second in the pocket of Sacred Meerkat. Up over the rise of the mountain. Ooh, big wheelie and a wiggle. Ignore anti-wheelie 3 in the bottom right corner of your screen there, guys and gals. That's glitched. Sacred Meerkat is not using a third anti-wheelie electronics option at this stage of the Grand Prix. So back over to the TV perspective. Once again, it's these two men stealing the spotlight of the DrAce BSB Championship. A 121.744 for number 67. Shaky Burn inspired number on board the Airwaves Ducati. As we now go to the right hand side. Waiting for a lunge is the fans. Waiting for a lunge is Sacred Meerkat. Do we see it? He's getting closer. The bit is between his teeth. He wants to get involved and he wants to put on a good show. He's certainly doing it so far. Vlad says, a beautiful game. Just finished some online races. I'm obsessed with it. Good to hear, Vlad. And I think you've joined the right pace then. Whoa! Jack a little bit off the track there. Just a little glint in the eye of Sacred Meerkat and possibly a little bit of a smile. He might be thinking this is his chance. Plenty of laps to go in this one, so we don't need to see anything dastardly or anything stupid. And neither of these men are capable of doing something stupid. They're both very smart and intelligent players. So keep an eye on the both of them. I do want to see what else is happening, but can you peel away from this? I don't think you can. Just a quick look nonetheless. Sergio 23 holding his own in fourth. Furhat and Dan. Dan looks to be getting closer and closer. Rational. Giant, they're very spread out at this point. So the only real battle is happening at the front. Jackhammer 67. At least 46.58, but the number 67 here. And in MotoGP Esports is under pressure. Here comes Meerkat. The sacred one standing on both feet. He's ready to attack. Does he go for it into the park corner? It'd be brave to go around the outside there. Wouldn't put it past him. Certainly wouldn't. But a strong performance as we now go to the right-hand side. 140k's, 150k's, reaching all the way up to 200 to then go firm on the brakes, but gradually let off to get over to the left for the gooseneck. So now into Mansfield for another left-hander. Sacred Meerkat using all of the circuit there, touching the white lines, a bit of the grass as well, as Jack goes on the defence for the change of direction into turn 10. The mounting is rapidly approaching. Will Meerkat go for a lunge? Still not happening yet. Both men very calm and very in control of their motorcycles. The MV Agusta, excuse me, no more MV Agusta, that was the 600s. The Ducati versus the Suzuki. Oh, a sharp intake of breath there, as goodness me, Sacred Meerkat was close. Oh my goodness, my fingers, toes, everything clenched then. I thought he was going to hit him. That was close. That was a sensational moment though. Think of the guys, think of the clips that you guys are producing for me right now. This is just absolutely fantastic. You're absolutely right, Joe 4620. These two are just crazy fast. Insane fast. Quicker than I'll ever be. But Sacred Meerkat wants to be quicker. Into turn 4. Park Straight has yielded an overtake. Yes! The first one of this battle in the 1000s as Jack rubbing his racing. You'll see a bit of red on Meerkat's leathers, and it won't be from his own bike. He'll be from the 67 behind. The Ducati Panigale 1299. Will we see another lunge into the mountain section? God, I hope we do. Thanks to Vlad for joining the Ace Academy and subscribing. I appreciate that, mate. As we now go into the mountain section. Jack won't be close enough yet. But Sacred Meerkat, he's done all the donkey work last time and unfortunately came up short. Jack's done a lot of the donkey work this time. Will he come up short as he gets, whoa, squirrely on the bike there. Squirming around the whole bends. I don't know how you do that. I would have had to just lock off and just say, alright, I'll have a minute. But back to it. Rational's gone down, unfortunately, so a quick look at the number 73, and then he's just hit a strewn motorcycle. Was it Giant who went down? Not entirely sure, but Rational's gone all the way down to last place now. Mad Max in pursuit of 11th. Of 9th place, of the number 11. The Sparky Man cutting the corner there. So Furhat, Sergio 23, all very calm at this stage of the Grand Prix. And once again, Sergio 23 hates this track, but he's doing a damn good job. Hopefully we can change his mind someday and he'll start to appreciate Cadwell Park. So unfortunately, we didn't get to see the best of Fernandez today as Furhat has just gone down. Fernandez getting taken out in the early stage of this Grand Prix, kind of scuppered his chances to fight with the big boys at the front. But back over to second place, Jack Hammer is here. Really favoured the 1000cc championship. Quick reminder, he is leading the World Championship, or at least this National Championship should I say. And he still will, regardless of the outcome, if he either finishes second or first. But Sacred Meerkat will, crucially, chip away some points. This championship is far from over, and do not forget, after this Grand Prix, we start our showdown. Where the points are improving, we'll see. Ooh, that's a great question, Andy Yates. We could very well see some back markers, but I don't think so unless we see some more crashes. So providing the rest don't crash, I'd like to say no. I really hope not, anyway. So back over to the right then for the Charlie's corner, should I say. So we'll see the strength of Ducati again. Meerkat's exceptional on the brakes for turn 4. Is Jack just as good? What a lunge that would be! Contact made! Oh, what a lunge! Absolutely mugged him. Took his lunch money and didn't even stop to say, I don't even know what to say. That was, oh my goodness, I thought there was going to be another lunge. I wanted to say he didn't even stop to pick him up afterwards. Dirty. No, I'm only kidding. Not Jack Hammer. Brilliantly done. Mugged him, pinched his lunch money, and now back at it as well. Change the direction for Sacred Meerkat. Does he fancy the lunge into the mountain? You know he wants to give him back. Oh, the change of direction. Oh, I thought it was going to happen. Still not happened quite yet. Back over to the left-hand side. Back over to the right. Back over to the left. And back over to the right once more for the fantastic Hall Bend corners. Now from the hairpin. Ooh, Jack on the grass. You lose a lot of time there and you don't prepare yourself up well for the straight here going into turn 1. Sacred Meerkat, that iconic British flag on the top of his head. We've seen it in many races from a fan perspective and also as a competitor as well to the Sacred One. Back over to the right. Sacred Meerkat, the cleanest of overtakers. Jack was quite aggressive into the 4th corner. Is it going to be an aggression move from Meerkat as well? Who's going to be the last of the late breakers? It's Meerkat. Brilliantly done into turn 4. Can you get a more even competition than this? Suzuki versus Ducati. The factory boys in Bologna are going to be loving this one. And of course Suzuki not so much. Oh, Meerkat's down! No way! Absolutely disastrous moment in the Cadwell Park race. Oh, can you believe it? Heads in hands, ladies and gentlemen. It's a crash for Meerkat. That is just gifted Jack Hammer the win. Oh my God. Absolutely insane moment. My hands are shaking. Oh, goodness me. He will be livid. He was pushing so hard. And look at the tyre situation. They're both identical practically. I was going to question if it was maybe a hot front that caught Meerkat off guard. But losing 4 seconds to Jack Hammer there. Ah, disaster in the chance of this championship. That is definitely gifted it to Jack now. I just don't see Meerkat pulling in 4 seconds. What a performance. It got close. And only one man stood at the end. It must have been the smallest of errors for Meerkat though. He must have just barely clipped the rumble strip for the gooseneck corner. He went on the change of direction, so I'm guessing as he turned it to the left here, he's just clipped that rumble strip. Oh, it's a damn shame this isn't a public lobby, because you know Jack would have waited for him. But unfortunately we can't ask of Jack to do that here. I've seen Meerkat in the past make a few mistakes, but it's rare. It certainly caught me off guard. Wow. Thankfully, Max, we still have a good couple of races left, and of course the showdown, very important. Meerkat can still fight back for the championship. It's not over yet for any of these young men. Don't forget, even Fernandez is still mathematically possible to get in a chance of winning the championship. But what's happened to Mad Max? Mad Max has exited the session. I do hope that's just a disconnect, and hopefully it's not a rage quit. Hopefully not. Well, that is a damn shame. I think Max was doing alright. He certainly did well in the 600cc race. Back over now to Fernandez and then Sergio 23. I think that's going to be the most action we're going to see out of this 5th round. Certainly don't want to put any pressure on Meerkat or to blame him, but unfortunately that is the best part of the race gone. But I've got to say, what a terrific performance from the both of them. Unfortunately, Rational has had a disastrous race. Medium rear tyre for him, probably not ideal. Wait, that's Sacred Meerkat. The back markers will play a small factor into this. I hope Rational realises and moves out of the way. He hasn't realised. I'm not going to give Rational a penalty there. I don't think he's probably realised that that's him. But then again, he is last. He should have known and realised that he is the back of the grid there. We'll have to have a think about that one because got to move out of the way. He showed great sportsmanship earlier and great awareness in the qualifying, but unfortunately here today wasn't quite aware that Sacred Meerkat was charging behind him. So looking at the straight, seeing if Jack is going to catch up to the man in 9th place. That is Sparky Man 878. If we don't see any movers out the way, blue flags, I can't wave anything unfortunately. But yeah, I don't know whether the X button actually gives a penalty or waves any flags. So as far as I'm concerned, I better not touch anything. But I would appreciate if Sparky Man, J-Anth, and even Perky, if it comes to it, would move out of the way. I don't want to be dishing penalties out for not moving. It's one of my biggest pet peeves in racing. So Sergio 23, what's happened to him? Longboy Dan has got the better of him. Possibly a crash for the number 23. And the gap is coming down somewhat, but it's certainly not enough to put pressure on Jack Hammer 46.58. Prepare yourself for another sensational Jack Hammer performance. Another crucial 18 points in the bag. Yeah, yes, there will, Max. Yeah, there's going to be 2 prizes. This is actually provided by Andy Yates, who's in the comment section down below. And they are going to be a separate trophy, both for the 600s and one for the 1000cc's as well. Very excited to see the trophies, and I should hopefully be able to hand them out to whoever it is when we get the opportunity. Not a problem, Max. Apologies that you lost your connection. Where were you before you crashed? I actually didn't see it before you disconnected. Sorry to hear that, by the way. So Meerkat's still on it. If he's not going to get the win, I think he wants the fastest lap time. And this is all great practice. Just because you didn't finish the race doesn't mean... Excuse me, just because you didn't finish where you wanted to, doesn't mean you can't keep pushing. And that's precisely what we're seeing right now. So Jack Hammer's approaching the back markers, but not close enough. It will be in the back of his mind because, of course, he is significantly faster. The hammer lays the hammer. You know it, Max. He's done it again. Jeffrey. Hammer time once more. So we now get closer to the guys ahead. The number 67. Jack Hammer 46.58. This is the part that's got me concerned now. Sparky Man has got to move out the way. And so has J-Anth. I don't want to see anyone stopping a win out of just lack of awareness on the circuit. Would really like to see them move now. This is when it gets scary. Sparky, J-Anth, please move over. Sparky, brilliantly done. Well done, Sparky. Has he moved out of the way for Meerkat as well? Looks like he has. As Jack Hammer will still... He will catch up to J-Anth, won't he? Good awareness from Sparky Man, though, I approve. One of my biggest pet peeves. That's why it's so important for me not to have that happen. Really don't like that. Sacred Meerkat, though, 1.8 seconds. He has put in some serious effort to close him down. He won't be close enough by the end of this one to have an attack, but it's still. What an effort. J-Anth's off the track. J-Anth's got down there. I think he took a defensive action to get out of the way of Jackhammer, so I approve of that one. Sacred Meerkat's on the charge. Sparky Man's going to have to move out of the way again, as he's in a bit of a sandwich here of the two fastest riders in our championship. And he does it again. Brilliantly done there from Sparky Man. Thank you, Dalton. I do appreciate that, and I do approve. Nobody wants to be given the blue flag, and nobody wants to be held up or finishing dead last, but I appreciate the sportsmanship. But today, it's all about one man. He has encountered serious pressure from one of the fastest men in the DrAce BSB Championship. Jackhammer 46.58 wins again, dominates here in Cadwell, takes another victory after a stupendous fight with Sacred Meerkat. Meerkat finished in second after a thrilling comeback. After crashing into the gooseneck and finishing just within a second of Jackhammer, that is sensational. Brilliantly done from Sacred Meerkat. Fernandez comes home in third place after unfortunately having a bit of a disaster in the early stages of this Grand Prix. Dawn says, woo, Jack. Everyone says Jack's the GOAT. Fernandez finishes across the line in third. Longboy Dan's had a moment. Sergio on 23 and Dan are going, oh, head to leather here. Alongside each other. It's going to be a run to the line. Does he go for the lunge? Oh, it's close. Oh, what the hell happened then? We never seen what happened, but I think Longboy Dan finished in fourth. Goodness me. Looked like Sergio absolutely clattered into the back of him there. But I guess that is the standings of today's Grand Prix. Apologies to Mad Max, we lost him during the race, but wow, what a performance from the man on board the Ducati, and what a performance from Sacred Meerkat, chucking those lap times towards the end of the Grand Prix. So unfortunately, once again, only 3 finishes in this round of the championship. It's a sad sight, but when they're putting lap times in that, it's a second quicker, 2 seconds quicker sometimes. So yeah, difficult race. Fernandez, 122s for him. I know he's not a big fan of this track, but still having a brilliant opportunity to fight back and get back onto the podium. So I think that's it, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you very much for watching. A bit of a stressful one for us all there. I'd like to ask what happened to you, Jay, in the contact with Sacred Meerkat. Unfortunate beginning, the Doomfather says. I'd like to hear from Jack and Meerkat as well before we conclude this round of the championship. Thank you, Max. I do appreciate that, mate. I do my best to get daily content and, of course, keep these championships going. I think we've got to do a lot more after this one as well, Max. I think they're very enjoyable for me and, of course, for the fans as well. Bloody wheeling over the mountain, Sergio. Yeah, Sergio and Ferhat are pretty much very close now on points. I'd have to take a look at it and send the results to Ruben, which I'll do now, actually, as a matter of fact. As whilst we're here, I can update you with the 600cc championship standings, if you like. I won't be able to give you the 1000cc's, but for now, 84 points for Sacred Meerkat in the 600cc, just 4 points clear from Jackhammer 46.58. Fernandez 99 in third place with 76 points. Sergio 5 points clear from Rational with 54. Longboy down 44. Perky 41. Ferhat down to 40 points. Sparkyman 878. 30 points. Mad Max 28. Janth 27. And Raceboy, who was only competed last week, has 6 points. So guys, that's it from me. Absolutely brilliant performance from you all today. Really enjoyed the action. Brilliantly done from Jack and Meerkat. That was some of the best action I've ever seen in this video game. Stunning. Thank you, Wizball. I appreciate that. I do my best with the commentary. And yeah, I guess that's it. I'm proud of you all there. Cadwell's a difficult track, and I think some of you did better than you give yourselves credit for. So, great effort, everyone. So yeah, that's it, guys. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like, comment and subscribe. Be sure to leave some more stuff in the comments. And before we go, a big shout out to Alessandro, who's just joined the pit crew. So thank you very much to that, mate. Thank you for joining and becoming a member. You now get exclusive access to emojis and priority comments in the replies. So there you go. Thanks for watching, guys, and I will see you